Hi, welcome back to Roll With It RPG. Tonight we are playing Vampire the Dark Ages. A couple things. Our player Doug, for as Asmodeus, isn't with us tonight. He gave us some last minute "I'm not going to be there" notice, and a happy birthday to Patrick, player of
Woohoo!
Dragomir.
I'm
Uh,
old,
uh,
much older than my. I guess it depends. I mean, I'm older than my character looks, but not older than him because he'd be kind of old. But
Yeah.
it's very true. Uh, when we last left off, the characters had just discovered the potential of misinformation that uh, brother Bernardus had at least fed them about a particular bit of evidence he left for them. A green substance of some sort that they discovered in a puddle outside one of the northern gates of Jerusalem. From there, the group split and returned to their abodes, and we find them on a new night outside Dragomir's place with Casper and Victor, the newly ghoulified retainer of. All right, that's where we're at. That's where we're going to start. Uh, righto. So you find yourself having a visitor outside your uh, coterie member. Uh, he seems antsy and nervous, but you can tell by the way he's just by looking at the way he's flushed, he seems to be excited about something.
okay. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I heard his name right when we were all talking beforehand. Or is Casper the only one who knows Victor's name?
I believe Casper is the only that.
Okay. Um, I'll see him outside the outside my clinic and open the door and um, would you like to come inside? Were you waiting for Casper? Or
I
did
was
you need to talk to me?
no, I'm waiting.
Would you like to come inside? As to not dis- well, disturb the locals any more than they're already disturbed.
No, I'll wait here.
Well, suit yourself. Should you need anything, my door's open.
Right. And he folds his arms and leans up against your wall just outside your door.
Kind of glance at him a little bit, take in the surroundings, make sure that no one is looking at him strangely, any more strangely than they should for the slums area. But
Right.
um,
No one seems to be paying him too much mind. At least not watching him. They do seem to move just a little bit away from him as they since he has a look of a man's arm.
okay. Well, like I said, I will leave him standing there in the moment, and I guess keep an eye out for any of the other coterie members that might be stopping by.
Okay. Speaking of which, I believe, Casper, you were heading to Dragomir's to see if he had shown as ordered.
Yes.
It takes a little bit of a walk from where you last earth meld for the night, but you have little difficulty crossing the city there, and you see him attempting a casual look standing outside Dragomir's apartment. His clip.
But he's obviously not doing a good job of looking casual, is what you're saying?
Yes, he's definitely has the look of someone with something on their.
All right, I'll just gonna nonchalantly just like walk around the corner, like casually walk towards the front door.
There's a flash of recognition and a mild bit of like excitement in the way his he straightens up and like takes it in a different stance as he sees you approaching, and he looks around and he starts to very slowly walk up towards you as if he's trying to hide his intent from anyone but you. Like, you are definitely his focus goal at the moment. What did you do to?
I see you look like you're feeling better, more revived.
You could say that. Whatever you did, I want more of it. I hit a tavern after you let me go. I wasn't clearly thinking. I was intent on getting drunk, and the asshole next to me tried to start a fight. I ended up in the brawl taking a knife and being fine. On top of that, I feel like I might be strong enough to throw a horse. What did you do to me?
By taking a knife, he's insinuating he was stabbed.
Yeah, he'll even point to like a definite stab wound in his overshirt and armor.
Do I hear this? I hear this going on outside, since I was keeping an eye out.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna crack open my door. Hey, Casper, do you want to move this inside as to not draw any unwanted attention, as our guest describes a obvious traumatic psychosis and psychotic event that he experienced last night?
I'm gonna open my hand in an invitation to move towards the door. We wouldn't want to disturb the locals.
Of course not. This man obviously needs some assistance here.
They need to get their nightly stretches in peace.
It's important to keep limber.
I'm not crazy. And as he turns to walk into your plate.
Got the door behind us. Casper
Yeah,
enters.
it's gonna go right in and look to see if anybody's there already.
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's just you three.
Is there any seating at your clinic?
There's a couple of chairs and basically like a what passes as an examination table that he would have that's kind of cobbled together. But yeah, there's a couple of for functional wooden
Okay.
chairs.
So there is somewhere to sit.
Yeah.
So I'll grab one of the chairs and like drag it over and set it down for him to sit in. And I'm gonna go like pop up on the. Well, I'm gonna walk towards the exam table and like give you a look to see if you disapprove of me like sitting on it.
Nope. Go ahead.
Okay, then I'm just gonna pop up on it.
I'm gonna keep an eye out while you speak with our new friend here.
Gotcha. So, feeling stronger, more durable. That is a side effect. You've touched a bit of, you could say, my essence. But too much of it is not good for you.
What does that mean?
How to explain? You ever wonder if there are things in the darkness that you definitely don't want to find?
No, there are things in the darkness we don't want to find.
Well, my kind is one of them. I just happen to be on a different path than some of the others.
He scoots the chair a little away from you. What do you mean you're kind?
Uh, it's a bit too much to explain at once, but I'll give you a general gist. Uh, yeah, there's way too much. Let's just say there are many creatures of the night that. Have you ever read a book?
No.
Okay, this is going to be more difficult. Uh, have you ever, like, as a player, I'm trying to think, is this after Vlad or before?
Before Vlad Tepish,
Yeah.
it's several centuries before.
Oh, I'm trying to think of a good example. This is not going well. Basically, we feed on mankind, and that's what would have happened to you if we hadn't intervened. You can learn more as we go along, but that's the short story. Uh, how to?
Okay.
So effectively, what I've done is giving you a piece of my power. If I give you too much of that, you lose your free will, and you don't want that. But while I'm here in Jerusalem, I will keep you in the form you are, as long as you follow basic rules and guidelines, and you will effectively work for me and my friends.
I don't work for free. And I'm not sure a temporary bit of your power is enough to keep me wanting to continue to work.
Okay, I'm going to activate Eyes of the Beast.
Okay.
Um, and I'm going to pay a blood to activate feral weapons.
Okay.
So hold on, let me find where my blood's at on this character sheet.
It should be at the bottom of the main.
There's the second one. There we go. And then I'm going to roll intimidation.
Okay, so
Uh,
your dice pool increases by 1.
Okay. Now I got to figure out how to do that. Abilities. There we go.
If you pull up your sheet and click on intimidation, uh, you would choose the attribute you'd be using with it, and then there'd be a bonus you can add underneath it.
Okay.
You'll put your 1 there.
Okay. And then is it charisma or?
It would be manipulation.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, that's not going to be good. All right. Well, let's hope for some luck.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. I'm going to say, who are you to make demands? I'm going to stand up from where I'm at.
I'm going to do the requisite courage roll to try to hold his ground. 1. No, not -10. Just 1.
I mean, he can go -10. That's fine.
Okay. He doesn't stop looking at you, but he doesn't vocalize any type of argument back. He's effectively
Sorry, you cut out for a second. He's effectively what?
cowed.
Oh,
He
okay. Would you prefer I leave you in the ditch there where I picked you back up out of?
no,
Okay. Well,
I have to survive. I need money as much as everyone else does.
well, your life is definitely not free, although to some it is cheap. But I did not say that I would leave you empty-handed. But that's a discussion for another time.
He shifts uncomfortably and not.
All right, I'm gonna deactivate everything and go back to normal.
All right. Dragomir, you
Yeah.
see Asmodeus and his Paul approaching.
Okay.
Paul is in front, kind of blocking people's view a bit of Asmodeus.
Okay. I will step outside and greet him and say, Paul, thank you for bringing our friend by for his weekly checkup. We would hate for his leprous condition to spread to anybody else.
Uh, right. Right.
Why don't you come inside? I have a treatment prepared for him.
Of course. To you, master. Yep. And he bows and lets Asmodeus go in.
Do you wish to come inside as well, Paul, or would you like to wait outside?
He may need me, so I'll
Of course.
starting to get a little cramped in your space.
Yeah, it's I assume I have like a little kind of semi-store room in the back, like storage area where I can keep things here. I know it's a very small clinic, but if I have to, I'll kind of open that up if people need to sit in the back a little bit, but I'll keep an eye out for Tiffany and Oliver.
Speaking of which, Oliver. Tiffany seems on edge. She's easily irritated, and she seems to be distracted, even during the basic night morning routines that you guys go through after waking up. And she seems to be in a bit of a hurt. Not really being as social as she usually is when you guys starting.
You good?
I need to go hunting. I don't believe I will be meeting at the clinic. However, I will see you at Bernard.
Wait, we're supposed to meet at the clinic?
Hmm?
I don't know. I walked away before all the plans were made last time.
Right. Yes, the clinic. I will meet you at Bernard.
Okay.
She dashes.
I'm gonna head towards the clinic.
Okie dokie.
She's a big girl. She can take care of herself.
Yep. Make her hunting roll for her.
She should have fed when I fed.
I'll be honest, it was the DM realizing that her blood pool is less than her humanity at the moment. Go with. Okay. Alrighty. It doesn't take you too long to find a clinic. You've definitely been down this way a bunch in your time over this year. The street doesn't seem any busier or crowded, though what few people are passing the clinic do seem to be steering clear of it at the moment. Like they're purposely giving it a bit of a burn.
I just walk in like I own the place.
Okay.
I see him approaching, so I open the door as he comes in. Oliver.
Hello.
It's a little cramped in here at the moment, but I think there's a spot in the corner you can stand if you like.
Nobody puts Oliver in the corner.
Okay, you can sit in the middle of the room, but I think Casper's over there too.
I'm gonna go to the corner.
All right. I won't put you in the corner. You can choose to go to the corner.
I'll just, as I walk in, I'll acknowledge everybody. Be like, Casper, Asmodeus, Paul, loser.
He does not take kindly to being called loser. Stands up, puts his hand on his sword. Say you.
I'm gonna clear my throat. Ahem.
Takes his hand off the sword.
All right, so I guess we should converse about how we're gonna find Bernardus and what our next steps might be.
Well, we could.
Where's
Sit-
Tiffany?
That's a good point.
She had a thing to do.
Okay. Do we want to wait for her, or will she be good with whatever we decide?
She said she'd meet us at Bernardus's place.
Okay. Sorry, Casper. I just wanted to ensure we weren't making plans without a member of
Well,
Yeah,
that
group.
That would be
that's
crazy.
actually good information. Because I was going to suggest we discuss it while we send a runner to Bernardus's to see if he's home.
Okay.
But if we're going to meet Tiffany there, we may as well.
Walk and talk.
Indeed. Is there anything important that we learned after splitting up? Anybody run into anything interesting?
I did not. I came back this way and nothing out of the usual.
Paul looks at Asmodeus, then looks at you guys, shakes. No, we didn't
No.
learn anything.
Oh, how rude of me. Everyone, this is Victor. Victor, these people are very important in your life right now. And the continuation of it. Keep that in mind.
I'll walk up to him with a kind expression and say, my name is Dragomir. Should you find yourself at any point either ill or injured, my door is open here.
Thing. Yeah, thing.
All right. Well, I feel like we need to work on pinning Brother Bernardus down and getting some answers.
Who?
He's well, he's an eclectic person. Speaks in riddles. He isn't really overly important to your purview right now, but he's important to us.
Okay.
The less you talk with him, probably the better off you are.
Okay.
Do we need to speak to the prince tonight?
Well, I think we had discussed that talking to him about the events involving, well, your friends would probably do nothing but potentially harm us. He seems to be friendly with their group.
But they were also here without his knowledge.
True.
But we also have no solid proof of that at the moment.
We did kind of get rid of them. And I'm concerned about exposing you and Tiffany.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to talk to him.
But I think we should concentrate on Bernardus at the moment and see if we can't figure anything out from that aspect.
Mm-hmm. See if we can get some answers for questions gained.
Indeed.
Victor looks very confused.
Alright, so Dragomir will open the door and hold it as everybody else exits.
If you guys know royalty, why are we meeting in a
Complicated.
Let's just say we haven't necessarily earned the favor of the individual yet. We're still kind of down on the pecking order.
Okay.
Kind of like when you first join a criminal organization, you might know of a crime boss, but you might not want to go up to him and shake his hand immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I might know a king, but I'm not going to sleep in their bed just because I know him.
Right. Okay. I'll figure it out as I follow.
Well, let's make our way there. I am concerned, I guess I should say, in regards to this what he talked about with the river of blood flowing out to the north, or the what was it called, the paths of blood?
Oh, your vision?
Well, what he originally said, right? Or no, yeah, he talked about it as far as like Molkov, but yeah, I had the vision too, right?
Yeah, he talked about the slaughter that took place about 100 years ago.
Right.
How legend stated that so many were killed and the blood was ankle deep
Right.
in the street.
Right.
How he was concerned that a repeat was coming.
Okay. And then I did have a vision myself, like another one, right? 5 men slaughtering children, hundreds, white men in white cloaks, symbol of a lily.
Yeah,
That was dark.
It was, dream or nightmare.
Yeah. Okay.
Vision.
Yep. So, okay. But yeah, I have some additional things I would like to talk to Bernardus about that might relate to this will of Malkov that he spoke of.
Right. So you had suggested sending a runner. Are you wanting to send Paul or Victor before you head over, or is everyone just going to?
I think we're just gonna head over since Tiffany's meeting is there.
Okay.
I believe that was the consensus.
I mean, it might not hurt to send Victor ahead a few minutes just to get a lay of the surrounding area. He seemed to be very perceptive and adept at moving in the shadows.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna describe to Victor where Brother Bernardus is.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell him to go ahead of us and scout and wait there for us, and then let us know what's going. Like basically, have him like watch while we make our way there.
All right. Just for the hell of it, give me an intelligence expression roll. Difficulties 5 to see if you can adequately describe it.
Expression, intelligence.
Oof. 0. Oh man.
I think I'm going to use a luck point on that. That seems very unfortunate. Well, it was better.
Yeah. All right. You can see him. His eyes dart about as he's mentally building the map as you tell him, and he gives a nod and says, "Okay, I should be able to get there and get to the market on the way back to let you know what's going on." And he describes the market that happens to sit between where you're at and where you're headed.
Okay.
We'll give you enough time to, if you just walk there, he'll be there, having checked things out for you. Wonderful.
All right. Very good snelfing.
He's a stealth guy.
He is pretty good at it.
Okay. He does as he said he would. When you get to the market, he's just starting to arrive himself. He's a little out of breath as he did a bit of a hustle to be able to do it quick enough. Says, okay, so there's two monks inside the building.
Was one stretching?
No,
Okay.
no stretching.
His back's gonna be hurting.
Knees.
Oh,
His knees.
oh, knees.
His back might start hurting though.
His knees weak, but his
Horrible
arms would be heavy.
arthritis. Yeah, horrible arthritis. I'm sorry, Victor. Go ahead.
No, yeah, there's two guys there. I mean, they're dressed like monks, but not monks.
Sounds like our guys.
That's it.
Hmm.
They seem to be waiting for someone. Maybe you guys.
Possible.
Well,
All right.
let's go find out.
Yes.
Assuming we make it there,
Right.
whenever we get there, I'm going to tell them to pick a alleyway and be like, keep an eye out. Anything strange happens, give a signal.
Okay. I'll whistle.
Okay.
And he heads off to find a place to hide.
As we get there, I'm just going to keep an eye out for anything that looks out of sorts.
Nothing seems off as you approach.
Okay.
From the opening in the door, you can see that there's Timothy and Thomas on the inside, but Bernardus is not currently. They're seem aimless, milling about, not really doing anything.
Okay.
I'm going to knock on the door.
There's some excited shuffling, and then the door opens, and it's Timothy, and he nods to you all and says, "Please, come in. Brother Bernardus is on his way."
I just walk in.
I will walk in.
I will also entree.
All right. Their aimlessness seems to be gone. They're now pretending to clean up. There's not a lot to clean. It's hard to get dust off dust, that type of thing. But they do seem to be actively doing.
Where were you last night?
The brother had us in different places across town, keeping an eye out for other activities.
Infernalists and such?
Yes.
Yeah, they're quite dangerous.
You seem full. over their existence. Did you not confront some?
Oh no, they were quite dangerous. Until they weren't.
Because you dispatched them?
Well, some of our group did. Yes.
So you said Bernardus is on his way?
Yes.
When do you
He's-
expect him back?
Soon, he became aware of the Infernalist clan connection and is trying to solve that.
Oh, well, I mean, that would certainly be good information to have.
Yeah, refreshments, and they'll hold up an arm.
None for me, thank you.
I would rather you refresh my ears. You seem like you have a story to tell. What, pray tell, is going on?
What do you mean?
I'm just gonna give him the look. Like the, do you really think you're? I don't understand what's going on. Look.
He seems genuinely confused. We did not know that the demon worshippers were Tremere, though that's does not seem unreasonable. But the brother has been sending us to keep an eye out. We have evidence, and they'll point to the pile that you guys discovered and went over the other day. You seemed eager enough to assist that the brother didn't show any.
Quick question. I can't remember exactly. Did we see Brother Bernardus after the battle, or was he gone completely?
He was gone when you guys arrived.
When we came back, there was no one here. It was dark
Okay.
on the inside.
Yep.
So, how did you know? Did you come to find out about this clan connection?
We were told by Brother Bernardus. He seems able to know things. He sees past the veil most people can't. I assumed he plucked it from the ether as he does most things. And he is correct.
I
Well,
believe he knew more before he sent us out, but I think, Casper, if you're attempting to get information out of them, it is a pointless endeavor.
while this is going on, I'm just walking around the room, like, acting like I'm interested in the stuff that's around, but not really. Like, if there's books, I'm just grabbing them and opening them and then like putting them back in the wrong place or setting them sideways or something.
It is fairly Spartan. There's a single chair, the same chair that was there the previous night. There's a table that they've got your moldering refreshments that were brought sitting on it. There's a cup, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of furnishings. There are a few candles here or there, most unlit. Just one enough to see everything barely illuminated. There seems to be more little knickknacks and junk near where the hatch was that he showed you the other night, but not a lot of things to distractedly mess with as you're not truly interested in them. You know what I mean?
How quickly do you anticipate Bernardus being back?
Within the hour?
Very well.
Can we get you anything while we wait?
Is there anything you guys want? How did Bernardus learn about the Tremere connection? You said he plugged it from the ether. Has he been speaking with anybody? Any visitors as of late?
No visitors. He spends quite a bit of time assisting at local clinics and hospitals.
Do I feel like they're telling me the truth?
Give me a wits subterfuge roll.
Ooh, wit subterfuge. That's a good one. Difficulty of 6.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, unless otherwise stated.
Okay. And heightened senses will not do anything for this one, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
3
That's good.
successes.
Yeah, he's telling the truth. It's fairly well known that Bernardus spends a lot of time at the local hospital assisting. Even Aisha says
Right.
he helps out.
But no indication that he's had any visitors here or anything
Correct.
like that. Do any of you accompany him as he visits these clinics?
Paul tends to.
Is Paul with him now?
He is.
Has Paul said anything about new acquaintances or fascinating people that they've met at these clinics?
No.
While he's questioning him, I'm gonna activate Folderol and just listen.
Okay.
Is there a reason he doesn't take either one of you?
Well, he usually gives us different tasks, but we were here to be here when you arrived.
And that doesn't strike you as odd that Paul gets to accompany him and you're left here tending to an empty room?
With it?
Content in this?
Of course. It is God's will.
Alright. I will kind of take a step back and just kind of lean against the corner near the door or closest to the door and just wait. Try to keep an ear out for if I hear Bernardus or Paul coming.
They don't appear to be telling falsehoods from your discipline. There is like a hinge of disappointment in their statement of it being God's will, that whole we don't have control, so we don't argue anymore type of statement. But it's fairly awkwardly quiet for a good 20-25 minutes when you can hear a set of footsteps making their way up the alley, and you hear a shrill whistle from down the way a bit.
Like Victor?
Yeah.
I will, I'll slip outside. Just kind of stand next to the door. Is it fairly well lit out here right now?
There is a lamp on the road, but it's dim. You can make out that it's Brother Bernardus
Okay.
coming up the way. As he gets to a point where he can see you clearly, he smiles and throws out his arms for an embrace and says, "You came.
Oh,
Good.
of course we
was
did.
Concerned."
We were here last night after speaking or dealing with the Infernalist. We were hoping to catch you last night. Unfortunately, it seems our paths must have crossed as you were busy with other important matters last night.
Yes. Well, I shall do my best to explain. If you would step inside. Are the others here, or do we need to wait?
They are indeed. We are very eager to speak of this. To give a report of what we encountered last night. We believe we were quite successful.
Good. Good. Yes. Well, after you.
I insist, brother. It is your abode. I would hate to enter before you.
Well, thank you. And he bows a little bit and heads on in. Oh. Right. Well, I am sorry about not being able to be here when you were done saving my friend. Thank you.
She was very appreciative.
I don't know what caused, but I heard a voice speak to me and told me that it was the Tremere involved, not Infernalist, as I had assumed. My investigations pointed towards them. I was incorrect in my deduction. Part of this is bullshit. You get this from your discipline, lets you know that he's telling a half truth. You get that his as he said, his investigation pointed him towards Infernalists. That is true. He didn't hear a voice, as he stated that they were Tremere. You get the impression that this lie comes from he already knew.
Which I'm pretty sure I shared with you guys afterwards, too. Really, that's quite fascinating. Was it... I'm assuming it was the blood of Molkov speaking to you. Would that be right?
But he
Giving
does
you
not.
Giving you visions, telling you of ways to prevent horrible things from happening.
Not done so before. Though I did have a nightmare last night that suggested he is active as I have thought. But no, I believe it was God who informed me.
Guessing this is also a lie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And what was your nightmare last night, if I might inquire?
I was at the slaughter. I was there originally, but I waited outside the city when it occurred. But this time I was in it. I was taking part in it. I was one of many driven to access and evil, killing, burning. I watched the blood flow through the gate. It was horrible.
Did you see any symbols or anything?
There were a unique group of crusaders among them.
A lily,
Yes.
dark. 5 of them.
Well, there were, I know, personally there were more than, but yes, they were in the dream.
Well, do you have... I'll look to the rest of the group. Do you have any issues with me giving him a recap of our events last evening?
By all means.
Well, brother, as upon your request, we did indeed seek out these Tremere as they were attempting to conduct a ritual most foul on Oliver's friend Aisha, and also companion or associate of yours. We interrupted this ritual, saving her existence, as you know, and during the fray, the 3 Tremere were turned to ashes. Thus, their threat ended within our fair city.
Well, you stop them. That's what's important. I have been attempting to make contact with them to try to ease the potential conflict that might arise from this. It's another half truth. Casper, he's is trying to make contact with them, but that's not his reasoning.
So what fruit has this contact bore?
Nothing so far. I'm not as influential among the usurpers than others are. I'm having to use connections and channels that I don't normally go through. Which is true. But I will do what I can now to try to alleviate your potential problem. I don't have connection with them, but I have connections in the city, so it should work out. And I will pay you back for this. I can offer you anything in compensation, even if necessary, my own life.
I don't think that's going to be necessary.
So he is telling the truth now over wanting to find a way to alleviate the problem. He has not been, but he is now. However, his suggestion of giving his life as payment is he has not. He is serious about paying you back. Just he won't go.
Brother Bernardus, I do have a question, or for you, since you seem to indicate that you believe that this was driven by the machinations of Malkov and the cycle of approaching the 100 years since the streets ran with blood.
I do believe so. Yes.
When I was in contact with the Infernalists, I experienced a vision of sorts of blood running through the northern gates and a voice calling for more. Not necessarily in a word that I understood, but the feeling behind the word.
Okay.
Have you experienced anything similar?
I have, though I know of someone who may have.
this voice that I heard, although I could not understand it, I do believe was the voice of Malkov. Who is it that you know?
He how do I put this? Even by our standards, a madman, a literal lunatic. He's shown himself on certain nights over the last couple months, always arriving seemingly from nowhere. He rants and raves, always screaming about more and yelling the word "fa." And then disappears again. He's often described as wearing a ancient, filthy tabard with the markings of a lily, the remnants of.
Where is he generally seen?
That I don't know. I can give you direction to someone who does, someone who's been watching him. Give me a moment. I'm going to make a roll for Asmodeus. Yep. Asmodeus clears his throat a little bit, and Paul leans towards him and looks at you all and says, I believe Master Asmodeus knows who you're speaking of, a gentleman by the name of Ranulf. And Bernardus nods. Yes, that is the man who's been watching for him.
What was his name?
Ranulf. He's of Asmodeus's brethren.
Oh. Do you know why he would be watching for him?
I do not.
Do you know where to find him?
I can point you to several taverns that he usually frequents. From my understanding, those are the best places to gather information sometimes. And seems to be Ranulf's specialty, and Asmodeus not.
Brother Bernardus, have you experienced any other nightmares like the one last night?
Specifically the one last night? No. But those I have had dreams point me in the proper direction.
I have a question. Have you ever found a weird puddle of green fluid?
have. I collected some as evidence of my proof of infernalism.
Mm.
I shall show you. And he goes over to the pile of junk and collects the skull and the hairy frog and all his little bits of evidence and sets it down on the floor in front of you and holds up the scrap of cloth with the weird green substance. Discovered this out of hey, pull up the map so I can properly quote it.
Is that the Lion's Gate that
The
we went
Lion's
out?
Gate. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Outside the Lion's Gate. It was quite fortuitous. It was very close. Did not need to range far, unlike the skull and the frog.
Where did you find the skull?
I found both the skull and the frog near Zion Gate, closer to the church outside of the actual cell. There are clear evidence of infernal machination. Frogs are not hairy. Dogs do not have 3 eyes, or even 1 eye. Nor this strange, viscous green fluid.
They do appear to be oddities. You are correct.
He is deadly serious. He is not lying on these are his proof, and he believes they are.
So, I guess the question would be if these taverns where we think Ronulf might be, if any of them are potentially close to areas where you have seen this madman. Perhaps that could help us narrow down our search.
I don't know if any are near where he's been sighted. I've not felt the need to drink in, well, wine or beer in quite some time. I've not even attempted to locate any of those places here in Jerusalem.
Well, perhaps you can let our friend Asmodeus know. And maybe Asmodeus, you can see if any correspond or narrow our search area down.
Paul leans in, looks to Asmodeus, turns to you, says, I can put out some feelers. I can look.
Okay. Do we have anything else? And point, has Tiffany showed up?
He is not.
Okay.
It was just 21 minutes ago in game where I finally successfully made a roll to get some food.
Okay.
So should we wait for Tiffany to join us and then try and find this Ranulf?
Also,
Or should
Asmodeus and I will need to go do some investigation if we want to quickly eliminate some potential places.
Very well. We have a number of hours of darkness left of night.
Do we wish to meet here or back at your clinic again?
I feel like my clinic would be a little too far south in the city. A more central location might be better. How central is like the clinic where Aisha was at?
It is. Actually, it's fairly centralized. It's near the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is not quite the center of the city, but near the center of the city.
Okay. Shall we meet by Aisha's clinic? Seems we could probably get to most areas in the city pretty quickly from there.
That's. I believe that would work for us. He looks at Asmodeus. Asmodeus not. All right. We'll be gone. She'll meet you there.
Okay.
At this point, I'm just like leaned against a wall, examining the ritualistic dagger that we got from them. Just twirling it, looking at it. Just kind of lost in thought, I guess.
do either of you have matters that you need to attend to before we reconvene?
No.
This
No.
could take a bit of them finding him and getting back with us.
Was it the Damascus gate that was the gate where the blood was heading out of? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anything you're thinking of looking into? Is everyone
No,
feeling full?
I'm adequate, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I'm just, to be honest, I'm just concerned about this nightmare from last night. Something very similar to what Brother Bernardus experienced. The voice that I heard calling out, asking for more blood, felt like Malkov. I don't believe that the Tremere necessarily were a part of that, but do feel like there is something at work here, and it is exceedingly frustrating that I cannot isolate what it is.
Have you tried meditating and thinking about it?
I did a little bit yesterday, but I suppose I could maybe do something a little bit more focused.
Pray? sometimes you may not get a direct answer, but sometimes an idea will come to you when communing with God.
I haven't attempted that in a number of decades, but I suppose when all other avenues are exhausted, I could try
Remember,
that. Sure.
you're never too old to start.
This is indeed true.
Bernardus nods with agreement. He's correct. Always worthwhile. Then.
How quickly can I make it to the Damascus Gate? I mean, I know I kind of walked around yesterday.
From here,
Yeah.
maybe 20 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to make my way up to the Damascus Gate and just attempt to meditate and pray. If any of you wish to join me, that's fine. I feel like someone should be here for Tiffany in case she stops by. But I should be back within the hour.
If you wish, since you're planning on meeting at the hospital near the Holy Sepulchre, we can send her that way.
That should work.
Did you say something?
That should work.
I don't want to speak for you, Oliver, since she is your cousin. Or your partner in these endeavors. So, all right. Dragomir's gonna head out then.
Okay.
And head towards the Damascus Gate.
What about you two
I'll
gents?
go with.
I'll meet you at the
Holy Sepulchre.
yeah, that's it. Words are hard. I will meet you at the hospital. I'm going to top off the tank a bit.
All right. Well, stay safe out there.
This good meal. Good luck.
Should we return here if we have any additional questions or information that we need to pass along?
I can leave Timothy, but I was going to continue my investigation as well as my attempts to contact the Tremere.
No, of course. Please continue on your path. All right, so
Good night, gentlemen. God be with you.
and also
Goodbye
with you.
also.
Uh-huh.
Right, so two of you are heading to the Damascus Gate, and one of you is going hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But
I'll
before I
take
do,
care of
I'm
his. Take
I
care
was
of his
going-
hunt first.
I was gonna say before I do that, I'm gonna send Victor on his way. It's a bit much for a first day kind of thing.
You've only had me as a lookout.
It's best to ease into these sort of things. You've learned some things. Maybe I'm gonna grab I'm sure I should have some coins on me. And I'm just gonna give them some spending money. Be like, take some time, think on life and God and your place in the universe. Meet me tomorrow evening, the same place.
at the
The clinic. Yes.
very well. Good night.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna nod at him.
Heads off. Right. Is there a particular target you're looking for? Since we're dealing with you, let's do your hunt.
Nah, not really. Not feeling really picky. I just need a top. Sorry, a top off.
Careful, you'll eat a kid.
No, that's just
Hey.
Doug.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking for an adult,
You need an adult.
and I do need an adult from time to time.
Alrighty. Give me a wits streetwise. Streetwise still skill? Click on Asmodeus. Nope. Make it a wits subterfuge. Subterfuge.
So I can find it. Oh. So a wits roll.
The difficulty is
Oh,
6.
okay. Uno successo.
Well, that's technically all you need to find someone to feed upon. You managed to find uh, a beggar near the market area. They are being passed by. Few people are paying any attention to them whatsoever, and your attention alone seems to have them willing to interact.
Hmm. Well, he's a beggar. I'll offer him a coin.
They thank you, praise you for your generosity.
But I'm like, basically, like I'm in the alley, and I'm just like holding it out for him. Just like, here you go.
All right, give me a manipulation. I guess another subterfuge roll.
Oh, this is gonna go real well. uh,
1.
yeah. Into my teeth.
So 1. Okay. Yeah, they follow you into the alleyway, attempting to take the coin from your hand.
All right, it's Morbin time.
Well, I was going to give you XP.
Worth.
All right.
What do I need to roll?
You don't need to roll
Okay,
anything.
sweet.
Since you are feeding, the kiss automatically pacifies. So you'll get
Oh.
3 blood points, unless you wish to feed further.
3 is where it's safe, right?
3 leaves them conscious. If you take 6, they're still alive, but they're unconscious.
Let's go 4.
Okay.
But I'll leave him the coin.
All right. Are you going to do anything to try to alleviate the memory?
I
besides the
can.
door?
I cannot, so I will not.
Okay.
Uh, I'm gonna pat his chest and go, sleep well and dream of very poor women. Then I'm gonna go about my day, or night rather. I'm just gonna head straight to the sepulcher.
Okay. He seems out of it after the feeding, and just kind of stands there, confused, dazed as you leave him. Right, you two gentlemen, you've take a brief hike and get yourself to the Damascus Gate.
Take a hike? What the heck? You want us to leave?
No, I just didn't want to say making your way. I could go with one that's common in my Tuesday group and say you muppeted your way there. Is where you walk like this.
What if we moseyed?
Oh, Mosey's good too.
We're not at that time period yet.
Meander, stroll.
Stroll seems very Dark Ages. That's all people could afford was Stroll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all I can afford. I don't have any resources. You see where I live.
I got you.
So you arrive at the Damascus Gate. It's still early in the evening, so there's not a heavy crowd, but there are people coming and going, and there are a few crusaders acting as guards. They seem to be mostly Templar at the moment, since it's their job to protect the roadways and whatnot.
Okay. Yesterday I'd spoken to one of them while looking for Brother Bernardus.
Yes,
Do I see one of the same guards that was there?
he is not there this evening.
Okay. I suppose I will look for either if there is a peaceful area out of the way, be it like a small garden or just a place where there are some benches, something where travelers can stop and rest for a moment that appears to be as devoid of people as possible.
All right, give me a perception alertness. Difficulty 4.
Okay. Not sure why it gave me 6 perception dice there.
For heightened senses, maybe?
When I did bring you over, I did add on to your
Okay.
perception a bonus to automatically add in your aspects.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That would make sense then. All right, so 4.
Right? Yeah, it's not difficult to find a small gardened area beneath the tree. It's a little overgrown as you are looking for a spot off the beaten path, but you managed to find one.
Okay. I am going to sit down and Dragomir grew up learning about the church. He hasn't had a great connection with it due to some of his past experiences, but his mother and father were avid enough in their faith, so he's going to attempt to pull from some good memories of that and seek some guidance in attempting to understand how this nightmare and this vision like how they bleed together. You know, how is this voice that was calling for more blood and the Templars that he or the Crusaders that he saw in his nightmare and this Lily, and just see if there's any way he can find some sort of connection or direction he should go.
Okay. Give me a theology roll, a wits theology roll. Difficulty, say 7, since you're effectively a lapsed Catholic,
Yep. All right.
to see if you
No. 0.
praying comes awkward. You've never had or at least haven't had a decent relationship with God in some time. And you don't honestly know how to approach it. Stumble over the different terminologies, how you want to address God. You're all over the place in your attempt to pray. However, we're going to have slightly more creative role, shall we say.
Oh. Okay. Exactly what I want to hear.
Yes. Give me a manipulation empathy roll.
Okay.
But spend a blood point since you're going to attempt to reach out on a more metaphysical level to gain insight.
Okay. So, all right. So spend a blood point. Difficulty on this still 7 or
Yes, still 7.
okay. Oh. That's two ones in there. So that's probably a -2, is that right?
Well, it's a botch.
Right. Yeah. That's a bad botch.
Should it be one more
Right.
dice because of the blood point or no?
No, that was for accessing
Oh, okay.
the potency of blood to try to feel out there with it. You don't get the response you would hope. You're trying to find connections that you don't easily grasp, and reaching out via the blood in hopes of using its power to grant a boon of sorts. You can feel the touch of like what could be described as like the drip of ice water, like down your spine,
Oh yeah.
and then you feel yourself pull into blackness and empty depths, as if you're being drugged beneath the surface of a seemingly bottomless, watery abyss. And your mind begins to burn and boil as you feel something ravenous, pulling at your psyche. And as you're fighting, trying to reach the top of this pool, as you sink ever deeper, you feel suction in a whirl, and you get thrust onto the city streets of Jerusalem. The sun bright above you, fire everywhere, and the water that had spilled out is now more blood as it was in your vision. But this time there is a man. He's thin, emaciated, long, ragged, blonde hair, and tears of blood running down his cheek. And he looks at you, and you hear in that voice from that first vision with the dagger, but now you understand it as no more.
Okay.
What exactly does this look like from the outside?
He goes into convulsions.
Foaming at the mouth, maybe a little.
In that case, I'm like shaking and trying to wake him up and slapping him on the face a little.
So, like, basically, I get the impression of no more blood
Yes.
instead of more blood. Okay.
Yes, he's convulsing, he's shaking, and he's contorting in such a way that I need you to make a stamina, sir.
Stamina roll?
Mhm.
You said? Okay.
Yep, difficulty is 6.
Where is stamina?
It's under physical at the top.
Oh, there it is. Stamina, you said 7?
Yep. The other option, if you wanted, is third button from the top right. It's a shield. It's
Oh,
also
okay.
The same roll.
Oh, it's a soak damage. Okay. Okay. Well, I've got stamina selected here, so difficulty 7. Got it.
6.
Oh, 6. Okay, 6. Roll. Heck yeah. That's 2 fails and 1 success. I'm doing good tonight. I'm
Alright.
doing real good.
So on down at health, give 1 click to bruised, hurt, and injured.
Okay.
As you've dislocated your shoulder in this convulsion.
Ah, crap! I
Do I
shook him
punch
too hard.
Oliver? Do I punch Oliver as he's trying to shake me awake?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it like so people aren't paying attention and trying not to draw attention to us.
All right, give me a manipulation subterfuge roll. No, scratch that. Make it a dex subterfuge roll.
What dex subterfuge?
Yes, sir.
That's better than manipulation. I like that. Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6. Yes, sir.
1.
Yeah, he's not making it easy, but you managed to make it look as if he's just having a bit of a nightmare and you're just trying to wake him up. So a lot of people aren't really paying him any mind. Yeah, it takes a few moments. He seems to be lost, but he stops convulsing and he starts to wake up.
Ow. Oh, what the hell? What just... My head, it hurts so much.
I have the same questions. What the hell?
Ah!
What?
He looks at his arm. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it's
Like,
Oh, that's...
I don't think I did that, but I'm also not a doctor, so I don't know.
Nope, that's... What happened? Things went black for a moment there.
You started shaking and being all weird, so I was trying to wake you up.
Now, in my past, going through like learning about all this stuff, dealing with Malkov and everything, would I've experienced something? I guess not necessarily similar to this before, but had similar instances where I may have convulsed or had seizures or anything like that from anything else, or would this be more of a unique? Probably never really happened to me before since I haven't tried to do this.
It's not something you've done to yourself. In learning the disciplines, when your sire was trying to teach them to you, he insisted on ensuring a small portion of his essence was inside you so that the discipline would learn easier, and his potency would often flood your senses, and you would find yourself drawn more into his derangements than your own, and occasionally you would be thrust into convulsion.
But nothing this intense probably before.
Right.
Yeah, like so. That was very, very, I'm just gonna say bad. That was bad. Oh, can you I'm gonna use my medicine knowledge to kind of have Oliver help me put this back into place.
Okay. Oliver.
Or if I can do it myself. I don't know if that's...
You can attempt it yourself. I mean...
You just spend a blood point.
You can trust me.
Or do it the fun way.
I don't know. I'm going to trust Oliver in this one. We're going to see how this goes.
All right. Well, first I'm going to need you to make a intelligence medicine roll to describe the appropriate procedure.
Okay. That's pretty good.
I was about to make it. I thought you were telling me.
Do I get to use analytical on this?
You can. It'll help you. It might not help Oliver.
I'm not stupid.
I think he would. I think the way he's probably going to try to describe this might go over his head, but he's a little bit blinded by the pain at the moment, probably. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to use it. Difficulty
7.
7. Okay, fair. I like that. I mean, I have a -1 anyhow for this roll. 4.
He uses a lot of Greek terms that you've never heard before. You assume they deal with the shoulder and the injury specifically, but he gives you a fairly decent idea on how to relocate it. So you're going to need to make a wits medicine roll to implement it.
Yeah.
You may give yourself a bonus of 1. Difficulty is still 7.
Wits medicine?
Yep, wits medicine.
So I'm going to be like, yeah, those are words. Don't worry, I got this. And I'm like, on 3. 1, 2, does what I need to do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is what I was hoping for. That's so good.
Well, he puts his hand on your shoulder the way you described it, and he grabs you down at the wrist where you described it, and he gives you a bit of a wiggle, and he tests you at the elbow, and then he yanks it in the absolute wrong direction. He doesn't make it worse, but he doesn't help at all. It's excruciating.
Mm-hmm. Because
And
it's a good try.
as you're gritting through your teeth, you hear the voice of a young woman. You've only heard it every so often over this last year, only since your vampiric quinceanera, as it were. And you hear, "What do you think you're doing? This isn't going to work. You can't fix this. This is just one step down into the hell you deserve to be in."
I did it. I fixed it, right?
Yeah. It's good. It's mhm.
You can spend a willpower to try to tamp down your derangement as it starts to worm its way into your conscious mind at the moment. You know that it won't stay down for long. Or you can attempt a willpower roll with an additional -1 from your one being injured to try to put a cap on it for a longer period of time. Try to gain control of it before you find yourself lost to the voices.
Okay. I'm gonna go willpower. That's why I figured. Yeah.
You're gonna make a roll, or do you want to
Yep.
spend one?
I'm gonna
Okay.
use willpower roll.
Okay.
So, what's my difficulty on this?
Your difficulty is I don't know. Give me a moment. That's what the book's for.
Mm-hmm.
Went the wrong way. Yep.
Seven.
Difficulty
Okay.
is 7.
Like it. There's 0. So
All these ones. What the?
I know, man. I'm rolling a lot of them.
No, I mean, I did. You have like almost every roll.
Yeah.
As you try to push her voice away, she begins to laugh at you, and you hear a man's voice step in. "You a fool. Trusting that for help? You better just be on your own. You're no good anyways. No, it would only help you if you wouldn't thrust your worthlessness onto others."
So yeah, Oliver, as you're asking, did you help? Did you do well? Just kind of stands up, just walks towards the gate to leave.
We gotta go the other way and like grab him, accidentally on the shoulder, probably.
He turns and attempts to grabs you with his left arm, which is still good, and attempts to swing up the left one, but it's kind of useless. And with a kind of sickening pop as the tendons kind of rub against each other, he looks you in the eyes wide and just goes, "It said no more blood. That means that we are the problem. We are the reason there is suffering. We take the blood. We ingest the blood. We force ourselves on others. If there was no more blood taken, then this problem would be solved. Don't you see? We're the problem.
Would
We.
would peaceful touch really do much here?
Peaceful touch?
It's more about like someone attacking you, but didn't know if it could like. I didn't know if it would be like calming even maybe.
Right. You look up Valerian. Hmm. It would sort of. Since it reduces his difficulty, it would reduce difficulty for Rorschach or Frenzy rolls.
Mm-hmm.
It would make him. It would make his beast less irritable. And give me a wits empathy roll. Difficulty is 6. Nice.
Jeez. Where are those rolls for me?
You've not seen this often, but you have seen other vampires give in to the beast or whatever quirk of madness they might have, whether it's from Malkov's blood or something of their own. You have seen that wildness, and you know that the beast is on edge. Like, he is at a precipice at the moment where he could be pushed in a lot of different directions, and it wouldn't hurt, but won't have a huge impact on him emotionally using peaceful touch.
You know what? Let's just use it anyway then. Because if it won't hurt him.
That's right.
Couldn't get any worse, right?
Well.
As I roll all ones on the next roll.
How do I... Oh, like that, I guess. Difficulty 6, I guess, because that's what it has listed on the thing here.
It's
Like on the on my sheet.
You
it
don't
actually
need
says-
to. Oh, for rolling it.
Oh wait, it's not a roll, right? It's I spend.
Yeah, you
spend-
just touch him. Spend a blood point and a willpower point.
Well, I guess the roll is like if you're fighting someone, because it has Dex Brawl is what it says.
Right, because you're supposed to touch
Right.
them.
So just spend the points here.
Well, I guess it depends. If he were to reach out to you at the moment, would Dragomir react violently, or try to get away from him, or just allow the touch?
No, I don't think he would react violently or anything. I think at this point he is just attempting to convince his friend that as a vampire they are the problem. So if he's just reaching out to touch him, I don't think he would necessarily see that as a violent or an
Yeah, I was gonna
Right,
say.
then, yeah,
I was gonna say.
antagonistic
I don't know
action.
exactly how it works, but it would be kind of again like a, hey, come on, let's go this way, and just use it as I like try to usher
'Cause,
him
I mean,
the way.
he has tried to reach out to. He's got a hold of Oliver by the front of his like tunic or whatever he's wearing at this point. But
Yeah, no roll necessary then. Just spend the blood and willpower point.
And spent.
okay,
There's usually an ever constant sense of gnawing, that hunger that all vampires go through all the time. And for this moment, it is not satiated, but less insistent. He touches you on the shoulder. There's a slight glow from beneath his hood as he activates his discipline, and you feel the beast calm ever so slightly within you. But as its voice dies down, more of those you've spoken to in the past begin to laugh and deride you for your foolishness, how much of a worthless hack you are. This constantly dragging you further into that pit of depression that the voices want you in.
okay. So I think at this point, I mean, vampires can weep, right? Do we have blood tears? Is that what we?
You, in order to mimic any mortal functionality,
Blood
including
point?
crying, you need to spend a blood.
He will. Okay. Spends a blood point, and you just start to see like, tears just come out of the sides of his eyes. So he just starts sobbing and crying, and just repeatedly just keeps going. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want to. I didn't mean to. I didn't.
Gives him an awkward hug because I'm not good at this kind of thing.
Still has a hold of him. Just,
Like
we
pat
Can't
him
help.
back.
anyone. We're a blight. We harm everything we touch. We can't nourish it. We can't save it.
We just saved someone last night.
Someone who is equally cursed as us.
Still
Did they
some-
deserve to be saved like we do?
Yeah.
There is no salvation for us. God's abandoned us. Everything has abandoned us. The light has abandoned us. The light harms us. The sun brings life to everything it touches except for us. Kills us. We kill the light in everything else we touch.
It's really deep, man. But I mean, you do good. You help people. I mean, you have a clinic.
A pathetic attempt to atone for those that I've harmed, those lives that I've taken. How does
I-
one ever make up for that?
I would venture to say, I don't know if I'm correct, that you've saved many more than you've harmed.
If you wish, since this is a role-playing moment required, the two of you could attempt competing manipulation expression role to help your arguments along. Not required.
For both of us.
If you wish.
Okay, I'll do mine. I mean, it's gonna
I'm
be
down.
awful.
I'm fucked as well, so.
It's awful. What's my difficulty here?
It's a contested roll, so your
okay.
difficulty is how many successes your opponent.
Okay, so we both just roll, or
Yep, just roll.
okay. I mean, I'll keep it at 6. I get 1 die. Okay. I was waiting for that to be the 110 that I rolled or something. So would have made sense.
His words seem to be knocking back the voices a little bit. They're still there, but he's managed to cut through them a little.
Would I be able to spend a blood point at that point to suppress them then?
You can, if you spend a willpower point, you'll you'll fully suppress them for a scene.
Okay.
And if you make the successful willpower roll, they're suppressed for the rest of the evening.
Okay.
Would the
Alright.
would the touch have helped with this roll if he does the roll, or no?
I'll say it can.
So is it a willpower? So is it I spend the willpower and then I could roll?
So if you spend the willpower, it's just for this one in game terms scene.
Okay.
If it were a combat, it'd be just like one turn of combat. But since it's a amorphous blob of at the moment, it's the scene. Whereas the willpower roll will manage to suppress it for the night. Like if you make the roll, spending it's for a scene, it's a temporary reprieve.
Okay.
The successful roll will
Got it.
quash.
Okay. So I can make another willpower roll.
Correct. And using a unique twist on his discipline ability, we'll say the difficulty is 5 instead of 7.
Okay. Bang.
Hey,
I get a success.
Oh my
And a
God.
1. My God. So 1 success.
you managed to force the voices back into the background where they usually sit, where they're just on the periphery.
Right. Okay. So as you see his eyes just get a little bit less manic. There's still, I mean, if you're looking at him, there's still a hint of chaos in them, but they're not as wide. He reaches up with the sleeve of his tunic and just kind of wipes the blood away. Sorry. I don't know. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I suppose we should get back to doing some good.
Yes.
You didn't. I was trying to be nice earlier, but the shoulder's still not good.
Fuck. I know someone who might be able to take care of it.
We're going to the hospital, right?
Yeah, I mean, we saved her last night. Maybe she should
Yeah.
take a look at
Yeah,
it.
that was. I wasn't thinking very clearly. Nothing against you, but it was probably a bad idea to try to. Was I speaking Greek for a bit there too?
I don't know. There were words I didn't understand, but sure.
Okay. Um,
I don't know Greek, so I don't
I'm
know
sorry.
what you said.
That's fine. The all the medical terms would be in Greek.
yeah,
So,
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Just, sorry, I wasn't thinking clearly. But yeah, let's head back.
I mean, was my technique off, or
Um, kind of went the wrong way with the pole. I think maybe it was I think when I described it to you, I was describing it from my point of view and not from your point of view. So you kind of went the other way instead of the, you know. Ow. Okay, I shouldn't do that again. Let's just go find Aisha. I think that'd be good.
yeah?
so Zach is correct. If you want, you can spend a blood point and pop that right back into play.
Yeah, he'll go to the hospital and just get it taken care of for now.
Okay.
I think in his viewpoint right now, he's seeing it. This is somewhat of a penance that he's paying the pain and the
Gotcha.
suffering. So, yeah.
Okay. So you two are on your way to the hospital.
Yeah.
All right. Gaspar,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Well, as soon as I get there, I feel like I'm gonna have some time, so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna pull out ye old book, and I'm gonna start scribbling it.
Okay.
I'm start the process of uh, sketching the uh, runes that I memorized.
All right.
I
Give
made
me
sure. I was gonna
a
say I
wit
made sure
crafting.
to. Uh, I rolled. I remember I had 4 successes to remember it. You said wits crafting, or would it be intelligence crafting?
Uh, intelligence crafting. It's a better call. Good call.
Okay, thank you. 6.
6. Yep.
All right.
Holy.
Nice. Yeah. You start laying down the ritual circle and the runes as you recall it from the night before. And as you're uh, applying your trade, putting it down in your book, Tiffany kind of quietly sachets up behind you and leans down over you and says, "What you doing?"
I'm making notes for posterity.
Is that the the ritual?
Yes, I feel like if I need to uh, explain it, if we're ever questioned on it and we need proof that we saw it, if it's best to have uh, proof. Well, not proof, but you know, notes. Knowledge is important.
Very, very much so. I try to study it. It's hard without being able to ask them, you know, how it works. And other clans with similar abilities are just as tight-lipped. But
Hmm.
what information I can get on their unique magic, I do try. I have some similar notes back at Oliver and I's Haven. If you would like me to share them with you, I can.
Oh, that would be wonderful. By the way, I've turned off Folderol at this point.
I kind of figured.
I just wanted to make sure to state that.
Well, just in case, she's not lying.
Okay. I didn't want to know that. My immersion.
No, she seems very interested, even though she's talking to you. She's looking at your book, uh, like mentally absorbing everything you have written that is currently visible.
The page that I'm on is just an empty page for this sketch right now.
That's fine.
I'm just letting you know, like, all my writing and notes and stuff is like in the front.
I need to make a roll. Difficulty 6. All right, she's able to almost physically tear herself away from trying to read it over your shoulder, what you're currently working, even though it is just the ritual circle and all the runes associated. Sorry.
It seemed like a kind of out of place, odd thing, like the way she was acting.
Yes.
Okay.
Like that tentative ever reaching out for your book to try to get more of a glimpse at it, trying to get closer to see how you've arranged it on the page. Like if just she seems very interested in the notes on magic you might have in your book, and she manages to literally pull herself away.
Gotcha. Let me put my notes. Tiffany is weird.
What the hell?
As the two of you are there, Asmodeus and Paul
Sachet?
arrive. No, they don't. Like Igor walks, I guess. I assume he's all hunched and, decrepit. Maybe dragging one leg. He might, at the moment, have, I don't know, the punishment for all my vampire players who don't show up. A butt hanging from his mouth. It could be anything. He seems they approach. Paul seems fairly relaxed. Asmodeus seems a little on edge, watching everywhere he's going as they draw near.
As they get there, I'm gonna go ahead and put away my work, like kind of like oh, it's time to get to work. Get out the lunch pail.
Yep, time to make the donuts.
Yep. So, any luck?
Paul looks at Asmodeus for a little bit and then looks back and says, "We have a place he seems to frequent the most. So I think we should check there before we go to the two locations near a few of the spots near where this 5 showed up."
Right now, we're just waiting on Dragomir and Oliver to show up. They've been. I checked my sundial a bit. My moon dial. Sorry.
You got one of those fancy wire, like digital ones.
It's waterproof.
Hmm.
It can go underwater and everything. Still keeps time. Okay. Well, I guess we'll wait here. It good 10 minutes passes after Asmodeus shows up that you see Dragomir and Oliver coming out of from underneath an arch that passes over many of the streets here in Jerusalem into the open courtyard that tends to be around most churches. Here.
Do I notice either of them walking funny?
Right as we get there, like right before we get in, Dragomir will kind of stop, like, tap Oliver. And say, I'm gonna find a bench to sit down when we get inside. Would you mind getting Aisha for me?
Yeah. I'm sure I can get someone anyway, at least. Sure you don't want me to try again?
No, I appreciate the offer, though. Thank you.
Alright.
So yeah, when they get there, you'll see Dragomir will just kind of slide inside the courtyard area that's here and find a spot to sit.
Casper, give me a alertness perception roll.
It's not. Where are you at? You start with a P. No, I'm looking for alertness. That's why I can't find it.
Top left of your talents.
Yeah. I was looking for perception in the talents.
Oh, yeah.
I think you just failed the roll.
Would my specialty of attentive
Yes.
work? Okay.
Nice.
There we go.
Oh my god, the ones!
Nice.
I don't think this is worth a reroll, so I'm gonna let that one slide. I don't see shit.
Yeah. Nothing seems off about them. Like either one of them. Seem fine. Might be a little darker at the moment than you would expect for the area, but you don't have your
Eyes
eyes
of the beast.
going, so can't really make out anything.
But I do find it odd that he didn't come over here. He must not have seen us. So we're gonna, or I'm gonna head over. I'm assuming Tiffany and Asmodeus and Paul will follow.
Yes.
I'm going in to get Aisha.
Okay.
Where's Oliver going?
He doesn't look up at you. He just talks. He was going to go grab Aisha. Just hurt my shoulder while we were out there.
Did you run into more infertilists?
No, it was. Unfortunately, I don't think the Lord wanted to hear me tonight.
He be that way sometimes.
Maybe we don't deserve it, but that
Yes.
is any luck on your end here?
We've just been waiting on you.
Oh.
Can I roll a theology roll to say something like theologically pertinent? Just some
And-
kind of saying that doesn't seem like it makes any sense, but you're like,
A
oh,
religious
that was
platitude?
profound. Yeah, some kind of like real good one.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
intelligence,
no, it's definitely going to be a wits.
wits. Okay.
Wits theology. Yep.
All
While
right.
he's rolling that, Oliver, give me a perception alertness. Alertness perception. 1.
Dang. Go Oliver.
Casper, you recall a decent story, and it's appropriate phrasings to try to add some sort of comfort to his lack of answer from God. It unfortunately for me is going to boil down to God works in mysterious ways.
Mm.
Yeah, you come up with something. Oliver, you are not too far into the building when you actually spot Aisha down one of the halls as she makes her way and holding what appears to be a water basin and some wash rags like over her arm towards an infirmary of some sort.
Hey, Alicia, Aisha. Hey.
Hello. Can I help you, Oliver?
Well, Dragomir is hurt and he needs a medical professional. That's not him.
Right. Well, bring him in. We could find a more private areas so he's not tempted if he's bad off. Or I can go to him.
He had to sit down. He wasn't feeling good.
Oh, well then I'll lead the way. I'll come to him.
I'll take her out there. When we're getting close, everyone just hears me say, "Yeah, you should see the other guy."
Oh dear. And she gets there, she puts down the basin of water, tosses the rags next to it and says, "You were in a fight? Here, let me look you over." And she
It's simply a dislocated shoulder.
If it looks worse than it should
Holy
be, I
buckets.
definitely didn't do anything to make it worse. That's for sure.
well, only having it dislocated from a shoulder or from a fight, that's pretty good, considering, especially since he suggests that the other gentleman is in worse shape.
Just kind of looks over at Oliver with a very confused look.
It's not painless, but it's quick as she manages to
She didn't even give you a 3 count. She just
Pop.
grab pop.
Thank you for your assistance.
I was trying to pay close attention to how she did it.
All right. Give me a perception alertness roll.
Oh boy.
Do it again.
I mean, it's almost exactly how he described it, but he was correct. The way you watched her uh, apply pressure and pull on the arm to get it back in place, you definitely yanked it in the wrong direction to do it. Not in a way that would have made it worse, but wouldn't have achieved the goal.
Just like, yeah, that's how I would have done it if I had tried to do that for him.
Thank you. Your kindness is appreciated.
You helped me. This is almost literally the least.
I'm sure you have others who are in greater need than I. So,
Well,
thank you.
You're quite welcome. Were you hoping to talk to someone tonight? She gives
No.
you a
No, I think I'm where I need to be. Yeah.
Is there anything I can help you, the rest of you, with tonight?
Look towards Casper and Oliver.
No, I feel quite fine. Thank you.
No, I'm
Sure.
good. I'm fine.
I believe we just needed a more central location to meet, and this seemed the most well-known place to all of us.
Well,
I wish you luck for the rest of your evening and your patient's a speedy recovery.
same to you. The same advice I would give a mortal patient. Lots of fluids. Gives you a wink. Have something to eat. Make sure it's healthy.
Thank you.
Well, I must get back. But if you ever need help with anything non-medical, you all know where to find me. And she picks up the water basin and tosses the wash rags over her arm and heads back into the hospital. Paul might watch her a little too long as she walks away.
I'm gonna smack him on the back of his head.
Creepy Paul.
Sorry, I went to get rope. I didn't see her last. Right. We have reduced the number of locations we need to search for finding Renov. He's got a particular location he frequents a lot, and then there are two others near sightings of that Fives. So if we head to a place called the Dancing Lion, we might find Ranulf there. It appears to be his favorite feeding.
Lead the way.
Uh, okay. Follow me. And he
I was gonna say during travel there was something I wanted to discuss.
sure.
Assuming nothing happens in the next 5 steps.
I can guarantee nothing in 5 steps. Past that, no problem.
The 6th step gets you every time.
All right. After
Yep.
5 steps, I'll pause and see if you have anything for us. I just wanted to get everyone's take on Brother Bernardus. I have a distinct feeling he's lying to us about a few things. I get the distinct feeling that he already knew they were not infernalists when he sent us. When he said that he had recently found out about them being Tremere, he was definitely not being forthcoming with us.
Daphne looks a little confused. Like, why would he lie about that? He seemed fairly sincere about his infernalist arguments.
Oh, he does believe there are infernalists, that I believe, but he knew this was not connected to that.
I have a question. Like, player has a question.
Okay, ask away.
Okay, so when we talked to him the first night, I did the sense cycle, and you said that, like, I got the sense that he was leading in this right direction, but for the wrong thing. Like,
Right.
would that have given me the feeling that he was lying about it, or he just didn't understand what he was sending us into?
Uh, he's not lying about his belief that this is potentially tied to Infernalist. However, your sense cycle will let you know that his using the incident with Aisha is not even remotely connected. That he's used that as a pushing off point of sorts to get you involved in something that he can't fully grasp. That he can only understands a portion of it, and this is his manipulative attempt to get what he wants. But still, it is putting you in the right direction of solving whatever this issue he sees to be.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't know if, like, because with him saying, bringing up now, like, he was lying to us, I just didn't know if I would have, like, the same feeling, like.
Yeah, you would.
Okay. In that case, back to Oliver now. Yeah, I had my suspicions. But at least we've been pointed in the right direction.
There's one other thing he lied to us about also. He said he's been attempting to contact the Tremere, which I think he is being truthful about, but why he is attempting to contact them, he was not telling us the real reason. It is not to, what did he say? Avoid the situation. I don't know what he's getting at, but he was definitely lying about it. I mean, it could be something innocuous, but he definitely wasn't telling us everything. He was definitely manipulating us in a way for some reason, which, to be fair, is to be expected. I just thought everyone should know of my suspicions, and I wanted to know if anyone else had any other ideas, or maybe you can convince me otherwise.
You guys can give me a subterfuge wits roll if you wish. Difficulty is 7.
All the dice.
Do I need to roll that?
Nope.
Okay,
If you
I
want.
didn't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll roll dice.
Dragomir's not rolling. So
Oliver, Casper, you get the sense that he, for whatever reason, wants the Tremere to be a bit of like a sort of Damocles, like a threat hanging above your head as some sort of form of motivation.
I don't need
to
that
deal with
anymore.
this issue.
It already is.
To be fair, he doesn't know that.
That's true.
So yeah, you think he might be using them as the driving factor. That if you do this, he'll get them off your back. Based off what you know. It is admittedly a few minutes early, but I'm going to call it because I'm handing out some XP for you.
Yay.
XP.
Last session and this session, you've got a total of 6.
Okay.
Patrick,
Yeah.
because it is your birthday,
Oh,
you get 7.
7 in total.
Yep.
Ah, I got extra.
So the rest of us will
Thought it
have
was-
6 more?
I figured
Yeah, I
it was just
didn't-
because I failed so many times. You felt bad for me. So many ones.
That's add to the original 9, correct?
Yep,
Okay.
that was on top of your original 9.
Okay.
Or whatever we had left over. Okay. Wow. I feel like the events of tonight with the going into the crazy that actually gives me enough to go up to the 3rd point in dementation for the visions if I
Richard? I hope you all enjoyed the session this evening. I hope you come back to join us again. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Last time I asked you about a person you might want to meet during the 12th century. Now I want to know, is there a place, maybe one that doesn't exist as it did or at all anymore, from the 12th century, that you might want to be capable of seeing in some way? I know personally, Constantinople is at its peak right now, and I think that would be pretty neat to have seen. So if you got something, next session, leave it in our chat, or if you're on YouTube, put it in the doobly-doo, the comments below, and hope to see you next time. And remember, don't play in the dark.
Good night.
Yeah.